Hey, it's 7 Grains of Salt. Kanye West, Light and Sound. There's even more to look at, especially when he mentions James Turrell. Let's go.
Invited to a performance of your work and of your orchestration in a sound studio in Burbank, California. It was so moving and inspirational that I said to you, I wish my family had been here for this, because there's no way I'm going to be able to explain to them what a lovely hour this was.
Make music that we felt was as pure and as positive as possible, and just do it for an hour every Sunday and have something where people can come together and just feel good with their families. We went to visit James Turrell at the Roden Crater in Arizona, and when you're in that space, I had to just, take some step back and say the only thing that I can parallel what James Turrell was doing would be for me to contribute something musically and to learn more about sonics that are healing, which I don't know about currently. So now I'm on my path now to learn about. I heard that there's certain John Lennon or Bob Marley songs that can move sand on a plate, that frequencies can do that. So I've been a so-called professional musician, for 15, 20 years, and never thought about that till now. Your favorite song, we do our service in a circle, and I removed the programmed drums programming, like what I talked about, the hi-hat, the 808 that usually hits inside of the lowest chakra, which is your sex chakra. And then you have all the information that one of God's favorite angels that was in charge of music came down and started putting messages in. The devil is also the angel of music, and that his rib cage is shaped like a harp. So that 808 that a lot of our music is, and that's that frequency. And then, here, pop this medication while you pop some mollies, pop some blah, blah. And that is the culture right now of music. That is what's controlling it. This pill, nightlife, all this. We're doing this in the light.
Tell me about the lighting.
I got that from James Turrell. Because me, doing all these like pop tours or going and opening up for U2 or going to see Daft Punk at Coachella, I saw the way they would use strobe lights and various things, and it would get everyone really excited. But Turrell's lights would pull you into a zen space, and it's a reprogram for us as human beings to not be, just hit with all the imagery and the messages and the ideas that speed us up and get us excited and more susceptible to fear, but to be more calm and more in the moment and stable. This is just a straight, I'm just throwing paint right now. This is early sketch.
Really?
Yeah.
So what is your vision? Well, what is the objective here? How will you know when it's complete?
There'll be world peace.
Well,
I feel so free.
World peace. Well, I know many of them have sold their souls, and it shows in a lot of what they're doing. They're showing us. And even A Call for an Uprising has a great video, and I'm going to share a clip of this. Let's watch and listen.
A long time. It was just saved. And he told how when they'd play in their concerts, they would control, through witchcraft spells in their mind, the people to do different things in the audience. And if they'd work the audience up, not with their music, but with their mind and their music combination. I said, now I'll have to explain some of this when I'm done, because you're not going to understand it all unless you know something about music. I said, do they still take the master to the temple room? Dave said, yeah. I said, do they still have the coven conjure demons into the master? He said, of course. I said, now, I know something. What's the main reason for rock music? He said, come on, Lance, you know what the reason is. I said, please, David, I want to guess. Tell me what the main reason is. He says, the same as when you were in, so that we can play spells on people that we couldn't cast spells upon. I'll explain what that means in a minute. I said, okay, one last thing. I've been hearing the you must be a witch now to get a record contract. He said, that's right. He says, many of us that weren't total witches have to be witches now in order to produce music. Thank you. The master is a tape about as big as the top of this podium that looks like an overgrown 8-track that the album is cut on, and it's a machine that produces and presses the records and the 8-tracks and cassettes that you buy. After it's been recorded, it's taken in. This is why a master's cut months in advance before it's released. On the full moon, it's taken in to a temple room about the size of this auditorium that is in every one of the major music companies, behind locked doors up in the executive offices. And it's placed on an altar sitting in the north of the room, and a pentagram engraved in the floor. And 13 hand-chosen witches and wizards and a coven come in and conjure a principality or a power up, usually Regia or something like that, and order him to tell the demons under him to follow every record and every tape coming off of that master. As I tell many Christian parents, you can go home and count your records, probably yours too, and count how many demons at least.
I'll link that. But as well, he just posted a new video just the other day on how Kanye West is touring with none other than Marilyn Manson and Travis Scott, who surprisingly then ended up burning a Bible. Well, of course, now we're having trouble. Well, he burns a Bible during that. But since Kanye West brought up James Turrell, I needed to really look into who this was. There's a little bit of information there on who he is. He's done a lot of research on lighting, and that's what he has now explored. And he knows how to manipulate the perception of space. He had in Guggenheim Museum Atom Rain. Just remember that word, Atom Rain, because I had to look it up. He has Seeing Yourself Seeing. Very beautiful lighting. Kanye West spoke about going to Rodham Crater, right? So look at these pictures right here. And then let's just take a quick peek at another video I have for you. As you can see, he's copied James Turrell, and James Turrell has copied Freemasonry. He's studied Freemasonry. Well, and I looked into who he was and what all he has done. He's even been in a museum called Obelisk. Interesting. Pharaoh Museum, which is this one here with triangle, and it looks like a circle, so an eye. Pesher, interpretation, that's what it means in Hebrew. Beautiful work. Can't say anything about that. It's quite interesting. Lighting, they're all over the world. I mean, he's been everywhere. You can look into him as well and see all this that he's created. But then it comes down to he's into the Egyptian and Kabbalah. And atom, remember I told you to remember that word? I went and looked it up and found out that atom, look at where it comes from. The Pharaoh, their families, they were under the influence of Adam's love and grace. Of course, where it all comes. They are all into Kabbalah, yoga. This is the problem. This is what I've been saying. Like, many people have been trying to speak about this, but have even had their channels shut down. Even Justin Peters tried to make a video discussing Kanye West, and it got shut down. I didn't get a chance to see it. I hope somebody out there did. That's why it's important that you research for yourself. You understand that there's deception all around us. Even the leaders in the churches are falling for this deception. And if they're not waking up to who they're following or what they're following, do not follow them. Do not be following the blind. The light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wicked will be put out. Thank God. Thank you, God. It's a narrow path. Thank you for the joy that we have in the Lord. And keep that in your heart. And just remember that every knee will have to bow.
Every knee shall bow. Every tongue.
Even Kanye West's knee. So I hope this brought more enlightenment, more wisdom to those who are still believing this deception in front of us. Because I've been to Charisma News, I've been to CBN, Christian Post, and everyone is on a Kanye train. And I suggest not following man, but following Jesus Christ. God bless. Till next time. Sorry if the first video didn't turn out. This was the second take. I hope I didn't miss anything. God bless.